Hello and welcome to Galatta Plus. In this video review episode, we are going to be talking about Venkatesh Maha's Rao Bahadur. The film is a unique, original, imaginatively done satire that gives the finger to patriarchal traditions. A few weeks after Singh Geetam, Telugu cinema hits it out of the park once again with a totally out-of-the-box experience. A rich man is haunted by memories and is kept alive by one toxic, burning desire. This premise spirals into a beautifully surrealistic message movie about social conditioning with a career-best performance from Satya. The film is a tad overstuffed, but that is a very small issue given what it achieves. That's the quick review. The longer, spoiler-filled analysis follows.
Rao Bahadur.
Satya Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai and Sriperumbudur.
Glora lab-grown diamonds, India's first engagement ring studio.
Book your next holiday at Grand Royal Tours.
Venkatesh Maha has written and directed a movie that is wonderfully bizarre, wonderfully unique. Rao Bahadur opens with a visual of the portrait of a person, one of those portraits that rich people often pose for and then mounted on a wall. Then there's the visual of another portrait and then another portrait, and soon the camera pulls back to show a giant wall filled with similar portraits. Earlier, each portrait was contained in a single frame. Now all of them appear together. Earlier, we saw the individual, now we see the collective. And it's overwhelming. And that's what the film is about. The power of the collective to overwhelm the individual. It's about the power of the collective to brainwash the individual into conforming to society's patriarchal traditions. In short, Rao Bahadur is a message movie about social conditioning, but the message is so woven into the whimsical happenings that we never feel that someone is preaching to us. To borrow from a surreal image in the film, we feel that someone is opening up their brain cavity and sharing their thoughts with us. The primary vessel for these thoughts is Ramappa, the character played by Satya. The man is in his 60s or 70s and he seems to have lost all sense of time. He talks about the Pandavas and the Kauravas as though they exist in the present day. Ramappa comes from a family that's obsessed with lineage. He has a conversation with Sanjay Gandhi, who had many men sterilized and ended their lineage. The floor of Ramappa's massive bedroom has become some kind of garden bed. It has pumpkins growing, and we learn that he wanted a child to look like a pumpkin. And it is a child who is the reason Ramappa is the way he is in the present day. Ramappa has liver cancer due to alcohol abuse, and the reason he has been drinking is because he has doubts about his lineage. His younger son drowned and he cannot let go of the thought that the dark-skinned boy may not have been his child. This lingering doubt refuses to let him die. The toxic patriarchy inside him demands a DNA test, and that sets the story going. Venkatesh Maha uses the superb first half to set up this world while also telling us a story without us realizing that he's telling a story. And he uses the second half to dive into the story with one payoff after another. In the first half, a doctor lies to a dying patient that they will get better soon because he thinks a lie is better than hearing the bitter truth. In the second half, we learn that his entire story is built on a foundation of lies and hidden truths. A woman sees swans on a lake and is delighted by their beauty. Later, we get a plot point that says that the swan's whiteness is prized by society as opposed to the blackness of a crow. A man is seen with rings on the upper part of the ear. Later, we learn that this is not some ornament, but something to conceal a flesh wound. We hear about a child being born premature. Later, we see the real reason behind this. The screenplay is like corn tossed into the hot pan of Venkatesh Maha's mind. It keeps popping with fresh and inventive ideas, and even if you sometimes get the feeling that maybe not all these ideas needed to have been stuffed into this running time, it's always amazing to see what bizarre new thought is going to pop up. In the 90s, Ramappa is confined in a lavish room. When we cut to the past, to the swinging 60s, we see his younger version being confined in a golden cage. This younger version, some sort of hippie with John Lennon glasses, calls himself a free bird and he's dancing with abandon, but he's unaware that he's trapped in that cage. How this carefree younger Ramappa transforms into the ultra-traditional older Ramappa is shown through a brilliant music video. I mean brilliant. That is composed and choreographed like a number from a Broadway musical. It's one of the most joyous bits of cinema I have seen all year. Song and dance and color and a big idea come together in a breathtakingly imaginative stretch. Even while committing to an overall narrative arc, the writer-director throws out the must-haves of a conventional screenplay structure. As a result, Rao Bahadur has flashbacks within flashbacks, and it begins to float inside our minds in a slightly surreal way that mirrors the disoriented mind of the protagonist. Instead of a scene logically following an earlier scene, we get a series of ideas which keep building to the brilliant closing stretch. Here's a sample of these ideas. As long as we keep thinking about or obsessing about someone who is dead, we are not letting them leave our world. If a man kills a crocodile, he displays the skull as a showpiece. But would this skull be displayed if the crocodile had killed the man? It doesn't matter which animal you take milk from, the resulting coffee will be whiter than black coffee. We may be dead scared of something, say water, but when something else becomes the object of our unfocused attention, it can make us lose this fear. It can make us forget this fear. And this lack of fear is an apt description of this film's leading man. Satya has always been a solid performer across a range of roles, but sometimes an actor needs more than just internal commitment. He needs the external push of material that challenges him in unimaginable ways, and Rao Bahadur is that material. Satya acts with practically just one hand. His other hand, like many other things in this movie, is a metaphor, and it is stuck to his chest. He commits to the role like a diver who jumps off the board and keeps swimming even when he discovers that it's not a swimming pool but the ocean. His immersion is complete, especially in the scene where he lets his blazing eyes speak with a mix of sorrow and suspicion after a tragedy. At times I wondered how Satya thought through a performance that should make him look like his thoughts are all over the place. The supporting cast is well chosen. Anand is fantastic as a cop, and Deepa Thomas and Vikas Muppala are also very good as Ramappa's wife Renuka and Ramappa's best friend, who's a Brahmin. That's not an accidental detail because social conditioning is also about caste. Venkatesh Maha and cinematographer Karthik Parmar are exquisitely in sync. Each portion of the film is shot differently. For example, the story of the younger son is filmed with a kind of blurred Vaseline effect we used to see in older movies, and an early wide shot is a single take broken by fades to black. It feels like theatre. The art, the music, everything clicks into place and nothing is derivative. If there is a complaint, it's the one that I mentioned earlier. The film is a tad overstuffed and could have benefited from some trimming. Now, this is not about reducing the running time, which is perfect, but this is about reducing the sheer volume of wackiness. The bit that has the protagonist dancing inside his own eyeballs is fun, but the film might have worked even without it. But overall, Rao Bahadur has to count as a huge leap forward for the director, who was known so far for his naturalistic work. The ending is everything it should be. By this point, the wildness has settled down, the various ideas have cohered, and we are left with nothing but pure plot. It is completely satisfying. This is the way you convey a message. The message is fine, but it's the secondary layer. The medium of cinema comes first. That's it about Rao Bahadur. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galatta Plus and see you soon at the movies.
Satya Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai and Sriperumbudur.
Glora lab-grown diamonds, India's first engagement ring studio.
Book your next holiday at Grand Royal Tours.